Let me type in chat.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I can go. I can get there on my phone.
All right, so yeah,
Oh
we are now live. What's going on, everyone? Ace back with you all. Today we have a very special stream. It's gonna be our first NBA 2K22 My Team podcast. This is something that I think I've been thinking about for a while. I think this is something that the community could enjoy, and we're gonna get right into it. First off, I do want to present to you, and very. First of all, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Professor DFS and Floki that are joining me here tonight to start this year. It's gonna be a good year. I can feel it. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey man, life is good.
doing great, dude.
All right, so
Super excited for the year.
super excited for the year. Super excited to have you guys here as well. We have a lot to talk about. This is we did what 1 day, 2 days removed from when the thing dropped. The what's it called? The yeah. So we have a lot to talk about. Very excited. I tried. I was telling you guys before the stream. I tried to keep my high levels, and they're making it hard to do so with everything that they drop.
Hey man, it's gonna be an exciting year. We got a lot to dive into. We got a lot to talk about because there's a lot here, and I'm excited.
Lots to unpack. It looks like they are revamping a lot of the systems, a lot of the stuff. Like we were saying, I feel like they're saying all the right stuff, and if it translates, I think it's gonna be an amazing year for everybody that's involved, everybody that's enjoying the 2K and my team specifically. Uh, what do you guys? Let me ask you this. Let me start with Professor. What do you prefer? What do you enjoy the most out of my team?
Oh wow, what a great question to start off. Um, I'm mostly an offline player. Again, I do a lot of offline grinding. I feel like limited was very welcome this year because, or 2K21, I should say, in the sense that it was a little bit more casual, and I wasn't sweating like Game 7 every night. So that was one cool thing. But, triple threat offline, domination, challenges, I'm going to grind a lot of them. And I don't want to say too much just yet, but these new challenges, I'm looking at them on the blog right now. Those look awesome. So, great question.
They really do, yeah. I think you were mentioning limited and how you don't want to sweat, and I feel like if you wanted to sweat, that's why we ended up getting those last spotlights of the year. Those
Yeah.
were I would
Yeah.
say that those got even more sweaty than playing unlimited. I think at some points.
The fact that I was able to even get some of those players, I felt was a huge accomplishment. And shout out to Eddie Curry because he was easy, and I loved that card.
Eddie
I
Carey
feel like Eddie
for
Curry came in too late for it to be impactful. I was waiting for him earlier.
He had a good
yeah.
diamond in Warp Reality.
After we got
I was way ahead
that
of that at
juice
that
one,
point.
after we got that juice one on 2K20, we were all hoping that we would get another one like that this year. So yeah, Floki, what about you, man? What do you enjoy the most? Are you also a single player guy?
In all honesty, yeah, I'm a pretty single player guy, but I mainly enjoy like the lineup building of my team. Like I'm kind of like a my league like rebuild like sort of guy. Like that's the thing that I've had the most fun with in 2K like all my life growing up. But my team sort of getting into it a few years ago, I was like, okay, there's like everyone is playing this and everyone can assemble a team. Like who cares what team I build? No one's gonna really be too interested in that. But where it's all under the same like sandbox. Everyone has the same best card available, and the whole economy of it. I just love building up that team and making the most out of making the most MT I can without actually playing.
Yeah, I hear that. I actually, now that you mentioned, about building your team and stuff like that, I think for me personally, my favorite part of the year is this. As soon as we jump into it, the team building aspect when you have to find the players that work with the way that you play and stuff like that. Not everybody has the same OP cards. You're just trying to figure it out. I think that's my favorite part of the game to start.
I agree. The beginning of the game is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be using emeralds and sapphires and ruby cards again.
And they changed the
Yeah.
tiers, right? I think they start at gold now and they go up
Yeah,
to at
that was
uh
kind of unexpected. There was a screenshot floating around of how about a gold Danny Ferry? So
yeah.
that'll be
Yeah.
That'll be a good time. That's not gonna give anybody PTSD from 21.
you never know, man. He might be juiced.
I mean, he's gonna have the player model guaranteed, right? So
That's
that
already
was a
half
big
the
part of
battle
what's making
there.
him good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I had known about Danny Ferry because he was with the Cavs, with the front office, from back in the day. But a lot of people learned about Danny Ferry this year, and a lot of people realized that he didn't really amount to much in the NBA. I respect anybody who played in the NBA, but I'm forever a my team legend, and he's going to go down with the dentist. And
This was a fun year for that, I would say. We did get to learn about players that maybe we hadn't heard about before, and with getting some of these rewards. I think that was a nice thing that they did.
the I call it the history lesson aspect of my team is definitely one of my favorite parts, where we get to learn about these guys. We saw a screenshot yesterday of the triple threat online. The guy who looks to be Gus Gerard. And has anybody heard of him? Probably not. But boy, I learned about him yesterday, and we think he's going to be a demon.
Yeah, I think he's like 6'8" or so.
Yeah.
Card looking like he can play small forward. I mean, that's already probably gonna be pretty good.
I mean, if that's the season one, like, yeah, that's gonna be trouble, right?
What about that Luca, man? That Luca. As soon as I saw the Luca, I had to think back at my Invincible Luca. Man, did I love that card? Or the Hero Luca before that. I had a really juice one that I ended up being fortunate to snipe. It had a ton of badges, and oh my god, that card carried in it like crazy. So just seeing that one Luca, it's a diamond. It. They say you can get it day one. I think that's gonna be a pretty OP card to start.
That's for collecting all the mural or whatever for the cover art.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of corny, but I think that's gonna be really cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm just curious though, because it's a season one Luca, and last year Luca had a bad shot for like the first few months. He had that like set shot, and then they improved it, I think, with a future card, and then they changed it to X and base, and then it was I think, and then it was just lights out.
I think
That
we this
hero Luca was iconic,
yeah.
both versions. And then the fact that you could grind for a level 40 invincible was pretty. Luca is one of my favorite players. So
I think the case against Luca has been made by the trailer and then what they were showing when they was doing his step back and that kind of thing. And Luca's not known for being a super speedy player, and that's one of the things that you maybe look at your my team. But we'll see what they end up doing. I doubt they're gonna make it really bad too. Like it's gonna be that first big thing. What do you guys think about the Wilt being the 12-0? I think they're going back. I didn't see mention. I might have missed it, but I think they're going back to the same system where you have to win a ton of games and then end up going with the 12-0.
I'll go first on that. You guys know I love grinding the game. Unlimited is the one mode I stay away from like the plague. Um, is it cool that Wilt is a reward? Absolutely. But will
Better
I
than
be
Paul
getting it?
Pierce was, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, he was dominant first time, and Wilt will probably be dominant too. Awesome that Wilt is a reward, but I
Yeah,
probably be
it's
getting
super enticing. Like Wilt is such a legend, and I mean, at playing 2K, Wilt doesn't really get like the playing time because by the time there's a good Wilt card, usually there's a Bargnani Ruby that can shoot it so good that it's like, what's the point? So I'm excited to I won't get him. Maybe I'll try, but I'm excited for Wilt Chamberlain to have a good run at being great in 2K in the early seasons, because he definitely is a guy who has got a questionable release, who's not really a shooter, and it'll be great to give the best center for the season 1 to arguably the best center of all time.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that they brought him out early, because of that specific reason that you just said. I think that you hit it right there.
He'll definitely be dominant, and those who grind for him will be rewarded handsomely, I believe. I will not be one of those people, so that's okay.
That's okay. We'll have a lot of other things. Like I said, we talk about the blog a little bit further down the line because we have a lot going on that we can sink our time into. Did you guys pre-order?
I did. On my PS5, I did. I got a pre-order and on my Xbox.
Are you just getting like the standard edition?
I got the 75th anniversary, whatever it is.
Oh, like that has the PS4 and PS5 edition? Yeah. Oh, okay, sweet. Okay, so that's something I was going to ask you, because I've got some buddies who play on PS4 and are going to be playing on PS4, and I'd like you to come play with them. So, so we can play both. We can do it all this year. It's going to be a big year, and I'm going to pressure you into doing stuff you didn't want to do.
I'm excited. It looks like I'm going to be on the road for work over the next couple of weeks, so laptop DFS may make a return. And that is Xbox exclusive. So it's going to be interesting to see how I balance it. My vision is seeing, can I get level 40 on both consoles? And I don't know if I can do it throughout the year, but if I can do it in the first season, that would set a nice pace.
In arguably what will be the hardest season, right?
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
Certainly in theory. But as a segue to what we were going to talk about, it seems like there's going to be a lot of ways for us to earn XP. And the other thing, and I mentioned this on Twitter last night, I mentioned a lot of things on Twitter, but one thing I mentioned was every season is 6 weeks now. And we know that going in. So we know that we're going to get a lot of content, and it might not be so fast paced, but that's okay, because from the word go, it seems like we're going to have a lot to do.
Yeah, it's looking at that's I think the thing that threw me off a little bit in the beginning of 2K21, where it was the first time that we had seasons like that and stuff like that. And I wanted to get everything. Now, whether that was realistic or not, that was another thing. But I wanted to get everything, and then I see, okay, where do I begin? What am I gonna tackle first? And I think now that we got this blog and that we know a little bit of how seasons has been, we saw that video that they put up, and it's looking like the same amounts of XP and stuff like that. So now that we maybe have a year under our belt with that, hopefully we'll be able to get off the gates better than I did when I didn't know what to do from everything that was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I'm excited to know that if I take a season off, it's not going to be like a 4-week season. It's it's a guaranteed time length. It's nothing's up in the air.
Take a season off.
Well, I mean, getting level 40. Like because I'm going to be focusing heavy on auction house content and doing that, and I know that the way, at least the way it was last year, is I felt like I got burnt out from that I didn't want to get XP. I just wanted to play for fun by the time I was out of the auction house, or by the time I saved up enough MT to do what I wanted to do, whatever silly goal I had.
No seasons off, buddy boy.
No, I guess not this year. You're right. I'm going to outgrind you, but I meant like I'm going to outgrind you content.
You heard it here. That is a promise for Froggy.
I'm gonna outgrind him. I'm not as busy as he is. So
you have heard it here first, folks. For those who are watching on Twitch right now, and it's going to be recorded, I know. So the bet is on the table. We should maybe make a little friendly bet, like Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless bet on Diet Mountain Dew. I don't know about all that because we live in different countries. But hey, man,
you have to shave your head.
Not many outgrind me. I don't like to.
I don't want to. But you said that he was gonna be busy, but I don't know that I would bet against laptop DFS though.
Oh, Laptop DFS is a different breed.
He's a different breed. He is a different breed.
You guys just saw like the tip of the iceberg.
Laptop DFS is gonna go wild on 2K22.
Laptop DFS was grinding in various hotels. Thank you for showing your cat. Grinding in various hotels across the state of Indiana, grinding at home, whatever the case may be. No days off, no seasons off. So you heard it here first.
All right. So
All
what
right.
what do you guys say that we jump into the blog then? And I have it right here, so we can show to the folks that are watching the full preview. It says it's about. We were talking about this. It says about 14 minutes. We think it's a little more than that. But let's go into everything. Like let's just go into the important things. So there was this one thing that I see some people talk about.
Yep.
This is the when they showed the MyTeam draft, and of course we can talk about the MyTeam draft as well because that's a sort of new concept. They had it before, they removed it, they brought it back here. It looks like it's not looking super different than what they used to have, but they did say that they're gonna be upgrading, which was a whole deal of whiteout the first time. Fell off kinda after some point that you just getting the same kind of cards. You weren't enjoying it as much. But I think my take on this one, and not my take, but this is something that I've seen go around. There's a pack here that says Coloso with a Shaq, and some people are wondering if this is gonna be the first pack that's gonna come out. What do you guys think about that one?
It probably will be. When nobody can say for sure.
Yeah, I would expect it to be at least in the first couple weeks.
What they're doing here is releasing legendary cards and players at like the base level. Like we there's that one screenshot later down the blog of a gold Yao Ming. Like
Yeah.
there's so if I don't know, the pack is blue, so here's my simple brain. What if Shaq is a sapphire? I don't know, something like that.
Oh, there's the one. I've been trying to get the one that you were talking about. Yeah, you got Daryl Griffin, Scottie
I don't know.
Pippen, Yao Ming, Danny Ferry, uh, Kobe Bryant, others that are not in the league today. So yeah, I think that's very interesting because it used to be in the past that we were only getting just the current cards. So it's very interesting that we're doing that.
What I think is what I remember reading about the draft anyway is that every Friday when the new cards come out, they were going to be featured in the draft. So your best cards in the draft every week are probably going to be the ones that are from the weekly promo set that you get. I think 3. I mean, it's probably written in here, but yeah, I think that Colossal set is just showing an example of what a promo will be. And yeah, those are going to be. It's not going to be an Emerald Shaq, dude. That's not not going to be an Emerald Shaq. It's going to be a good card that you would buy, like that you would pay real money or save up your MT and buy card packs for.
Right.
Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a promo with an actual good. If Shaq's on it, what's he going to be? A diamond? Probably.
Yeah, I think I would lean towards that. I think this kind of just I don't know. It's kind of more a general thing, but the card itself, I think, is gonna be something a little bit more. How are you guys feeling about the concept itself making its return? They promised they're gonna change. They're gonna update the cards, which is the big gripe that we used to have with the first time that they had it. How are you guys feeling about this one?
I'll go first on that. And draft mode seems great. I think it's a mode that's going to keep a lot of people engaged throughout the year, and I think that's a big thing. I think that's a big deal for all of us. Something that the community has been asking for a long time. I've played it in Madden, I've played it in the show, different things with that. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it'll be something different.
It
So,
it might
excuse me
be a
for
way. All right. It might be a way that if you don't put too much money in the game, well, we don't, we're not gonna tell you to do this or that. Uh, but if you don't put money in the game, if you don't maybe grind as much, it might be a way for you to at least be able to use certain cards. I think with that whole thing where they upgraded them and doing the sets the newer sets that come up and stuff like that. I think that might be a good thing for people that just want to try out different cards.
Exactly, and I think it's going to be like a real accessible mode for people to come play my team. and get a taste of like a balanced experience, like you're still gonna have cards that are significantly better. You're still gonna be able to double team, and it means something because every single person they pass to isn't going to be the best option. You're going to get Tony Allen, who's going to not shoot threes, and if you just try to shoot threes, you're going to not do well. So I'm excited to see draft come together, and I think that it's going to bring a lot more people into my team that haven't been playing because of the commitment factor or the money factor to building an actually competitive team.
Building up with what you said, you brought up Tony Allen as a good point. I want to talk real quick about them saying that they have revamped the defense because it's not on this block particularly, but they said it on the one before. I like to play defense. I like to be on the sticks myself, as opposed to I don't blame anybody how they want to play, of course, but as opposed to just sitting in the post with whatever. But I am excited to be able to not just get blown by or just get a three drain in my face like I wasn't defending when I was right there. Actually had a clip. I was playing a friendly with my friend at Royalty TV, and he just sang. I was like, "Well, I guess we're going to overtime." He just Nash blocked me and sent it from the other side, made it, and I'm like, okay. And I just laughed because at that point I'm like, well, that's not like I'm not gonna let this game get to me anymore. But yeah, a little less of that will be nice. It happens too often, I will say.
I'm super excited to see the defensive improvements. Like I play a lot of like my player and stuff as well, and I'm the Dennis Rodman. I'm a role player. I love to set screens and just be like in the perfect box out position and trying to do something and let my teammates shine really. And I'm going to be super excited to equip some of these new badges like Menace and and really smother up the guys on defense and just really I don't know, just see how that works out, because I've been really disappointed with defense in previous games. So
yeah, I think that's what's that?
It's going to be interesting to see. They put a lot of weight and stock in the defense. We'll see. I'm excited, but we'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna. I promised that I was gonna be much more positive this year. They end up a lot of criticism. I really can't, to be honest. I keep getting called out on it, and whoever says is they're right. I am part of the problem. Every year I complain, then every year I buy the most expensive edition. I've done it this time again for both consoles. So, at this point, I'm just trying to be more positive. is what I'm trying to do.
There's a lot to be positive about.
There is, yeah.
Especially now.
Let's see what else we got. So we talked about the draft, and we know how that's going to be. Triple Threat Online, the 100 is what they're calling it this time. It's a departure for what we had before. This, I think, is the mode that has the community divided the most. I think those of us that are not as great online as better players are, I think we're just excited to the opportunity to get to a different board maybe, whereas the people that do play hard and stuff like that they would probably have an easier time or a better time with the system that we had before. Where do you fall on this one?
Okay, well, I'll go first. And I think that this new system I can't really like weigh in whether it's good or bad. I think it's going to be interesting. I haven't taken too much stock in like the defensive aspect of triple threat. I usually will just bait my opponents into driving, pretty much run them off every 3 attempts and just outscore them. It's pretty simple. I'm not like the best player, but I don't really lose too much when I play it. So it's going to make me have to, clutch up a little bit more on defense. And with the defensive improvements, I think that maybe if it feels good to defend, like that's going to be awesome. But it's going to sort of take away from the helping each other aspect of letting someone score to get a bit of XP. Even if you know you're beating them, I'll let somebody score if I know I'm better than them. And if I lose, whatever. But I think that's going to be a problem potentially. But ultimately, I mean, who cares about that? Yeah, it's just weird to think that 21 beating someone by 1 point, 21 to 20 or whatever. I mean, it will has to be more than one, but 22 to 20 is going to be like not as good as I don't know. I don't know. It just feels weird that letting them be in the game is going to punish you.
Punish you. Yeah, I think that's where the issue is, and I think it's one of those things that we would have to really see when the game comes out how it's gonna play out. Because I hear some people saying stuff like, "Oh well, what if you just quit out, then you keep all the points or whatever." You know, I doubt that they're gonna just let that cheese in there.
That's
So
not going to happen.
No, it's if you quit, you're going to get whatever the worst option is.
And I'll tell you why it's not going to happen. And this is going way back in the day to season 1 last year. Do you guys remember there was an XP agenda for playing 100 limited games? And people were quitting and it counted.
and they got him. Yeah,
They fixed that real quick.
yeah.
I'd have to imagine that they've already figured that out. And just thinking about this, I just want to see how sweaty it is. Because when I play Triple Threat Online, oh my gosh, man. It's supposed to be the casual mode, and I do play it. But golly, I'm sweating like it's tied down to the wire. Game 7 NBA Finals. Who's gonna get the buzzer beating shot, man? It's just like, oh my gosh. And I made my way up quite a few boards, and it's just like, okay, let me go. Whenever I play Triple Threat Online, I'm like, why am I not playing offline?
I think my problem.
I mean, I just want to say every
No,
year, like I try to get at least one of the top rewards from a triple threat. So like in 2K20, I was like so proud of getting Dave Cowens, and and then 2K21, I got a couple of them, but I got from the vault Tom Van Arsdale and then Dick Van Arsdale from Triple Threat Online, and I felt like that's my achievement. You know, like I've beat the top board enough to get the reward one time, and that's good enough for me. So can't say I have too heavy of an opinion on how this system's going to be, but I think the fact that we're all going to be able to reach the top board figuratively easier,
Hopefully.
that sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's what they are or behind it. It looks to be with what they're saying here. I there's one thing that I do want to say before we keep moving on. The RNG is my biggest issue with this game. Now that I'm thinking about it, that is my biggest issue, and not because I was on the wrong end of it. Actually, I had, like I was saying, my friend on Royalty TV, he's in the chat. He played what like about 400 games to get Terry. I think it was Terry or Ferry. He didn't get him. And then there was this one time, and I was talking to him. And while I was talking to him, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to play 2K today. I'm just going to play something else. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me just get this one triple threat game. And I ended up getting the dentist right there and then. I'm like, okay, so that's not really fair. Like, even when I'm in the, in the nice end of it, I can see how it could be really bad for other people. And just like there has to be a cut up point, I think, that if you play so many games, you have to get this. For like the RNG, it goes wild. I don't know if you guys agree with that, if that's a hot take or anything, but that's for me specifically. That's where I stand on that.
I agree with you.
People share your opinion, so it's not a hot take by any means.
Yeah, I think there's something called in other games called a pity timer, and it's when you haven't achieved the maximum prize after a certain amount of games, it starts increasing your odds to get it until you get it.
Right.
So I think that 2K could definitely use something like that. Or if I'm not sure what they do all behind the scenes, but if a player hasn't played at all in a season, I would assume they would want to turn up the odds of them getting a new prize to keep them sticking around. So
because I know they do it for packs.
Going on.
Because when you come in you come in middle of the season or something, or you haven't spent anything, say you got like some BC as a gift or whatever, you put it in, I promise you will immediately get the top card. It happened to me, I think, not this year, but last year. It was the point guard Giannis. I just got 2K on the Xbox for, I think it was on Game Pass. And I started playing it, but I didn't put any money towards it. I got some BC as a gift. I threw it in there, and I got the point guard Giannis. And I'm like, yeah, I see what you're trying to do. Don't think I'm dumb like that.
Yeah, whenever I have some extra VC, I will like from playing my player or whatever. I'll sometimes throw it into a pack, just knowing like, all right, here's what they want me to get, and more often than not, it's a better pull. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're just trying to get you
Anecdotal
in there.
evidence, I guess. But.
That's I think, and I don't want like again, I don't want to be too critical. I'm trying to stay positive, but I did feel that that was like a pretty predatory thing. The fact that they do that.
We'll see, man. We'll see how it is this year.
All right, so
Let's get more of the blog.
Yeah, next thing that we have, it's the pickup and skill challenges, is what they're calling.
Yes, I was waiting for this.
There we go. Why don't we just go into it with you? Why don't you just lead us to it?
So I got it pulled up right here on the blog, but first of all, the pickup challenges are going to be neat because they're going to be different every day. So it's going to be something every single day that we can do that's different, and we can see we can build our lineups, and I'm really looking forward to that because I want to have something to do every day, and that's why seasons 5 and especially 7 stood out for me because in season 7 we had something to do every single day. There was a new locker code, there was a new agenda, there was a new something or other. Okay, so even if a pickup challenge is short, easy, get my reward. Maybe I can do XP in there. Always trying to multitask. And people are asking me for XP tips and that stuff. I don't think it's going to be any different in 2K22. You got to multitask. Got to figure out the best ways to multitask. Got to figure out a way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But pickup challenges look great. Excited for those. But those skills challenges are really what got my attention. And the reason I say that is because it gives us something that we desperately needed as a community. We can go ahead and finish a certain requirement and not have to worry about winning the game, and we get a reward. I've seen it in Madden. I've seen it in the show where you don't have to finish the game. You just get an interception or you just hit a home run, and then you're done. Game over. You can retry it. Easy for everybody. And it's something that we were asking for. It's something that I wanted for sure. And boom, here it is with these skills challenges. And again, can I get XP here? Probably. So short, quick XP, get my challenge. Maybe I put a graded card in there and we can talk about that. Boom. I've just maximized everything.
And I think they mentioned somewhere in here too that they're gonna be having the whatever XP you are able to get in this game is gonna come up while you're playing it, or if you pause or something like that. Is what I'm understanding. That is definitely a huge thing because that was one of those things that I know I had my phone notes going at the whole time while I was trying to do my stuff. So if I don't have to do that, I can just pause and see what I can do. That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, that'd be incredible. I hope that at least the challenge requirement is on the pause menu because that's something that I would see all the time. And I know for sure I'd queue into a challenge game and then be in the second quarter and be like, wait, what was I supposed to do? Did I need to hit 10 dunks? Did I need to hit 12 free throw? What did I need to do? And if the counter isn't popping up or you can't figure it out, some of them didn't even have a good counter. But yeah, I think that anything like that, any more information we can get in the pause screen, especially about XP, that's going to be a huge game changer for a lot of people because I've definitely played and missed I missed getting a double, or I missed maybe not a double because that's a little bit easier to figure out, but I've missed hitting a certain stat line. Oh, I needed 16 with him. I thought I only needed 15. I took him out in the second quarter. I thought it was all good. So yeah, definitely anything like that is going to change it a lot and make it more accessible. Super excited about that.
Yeah, that's one of those things I think when I saw, I was like, okay, yeah, we're definitely trending in the right direction with that. Let's
For
see
sure.
what else we got. The spotlight challenges, the ones that are going to be the tip off, or the ones that we were talking about with this mural from Luca. We were talking a little bit off camera about this Luca and what he can be and stuff like that. There are 15 players, I guess, that we would have to get. I'm not sure if they are players, but uh, I think some of it has to do with the starters, and we'll get to those too. The starters, they said that we are able, once we have fully Ep.1, I guess something will count towards this, and we'll be able to choose again and stuff like that. So that's definitely gonna be an interesting take, and I mean I'm all for having more players, especially when you try to reach those collector levels and stuff like that. If that is something that you do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was any news on the collector levels in here, but there was. Okay, I'm interested to hear that because I thought 2K21's collector levels were insignificant, and 2K20's collector levels were. I thought they were a better style, but they ultimately were kind of underpowered for how long it took to get them.
Yo, sorry. I'll go ahead and read the collector levels portion.
Yeah, please.
In NBA 2K22's MyTeam, we are bringing back over 50 collector levels for you to earn throughout the year. Exclusive basketballs, tokens, MT, Diamond Shoe colorways, MyTeam jerseys, and over a dozen player rewards. Collector levels are back and better than ever. I hope so. Get started with the Sapphire Kobe Bryant for collecting 150 cards. That's cool. And collect your way to one of 2K22's cover athletes, Dirk Nowitzki, at 4,000 cards.
Okay.
I will not be doing that, but that's nice. On your way along this epic journey, please be sure to keep an eye out for the reveals of the mystery players as our available collection increases throughout the year, and look to become a unicorn along the way.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Is that telling you something right there?
Porzingis or
a little Kristaps Porzingis action, maybe? Who knows?
So
yeah,
yes,
that sounds great.
That does sound great. How are you guys feeling about this Luka though? I think my concern was, some of the stuff that we were watching, we were talking about a little bit, where he's not the most athletic player as we know, and they're using all of his six and stuff like that. So as a price, I mean, I would expect it to be somewhat used because it takes a little bit to get him. But I mean, if those animations might be a detriment to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's going to impress. I'm just curious about the jump shot. If they're going to give him his good jump shot immediately, or if they're going to give him a weird set one like they did last year. And I imagine that his dribbles will probably be a little bit less than desirable as usual. But he'll probably be a pretty complete card that they're going to get a lot of people grinding for.
I mean, it
seems like there's going to be a lot involved to get him, so he'll probably be pretty good.
Yeah, here's hoping too, because I know that's one of the it hopefully is mostly offline, and then we have a better chance at it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's 15 of these cover pieces that you have to get, like what are they going to be? Are they agendas? Are they out of packs? Like, do you open a pack and you get like a piece of the cover instead of a card? Like,
that's definitely something that I would hope that they wouldn't do, because that's and they start gating things. Like I remember the 2K21, they had the exchange players that you could only get the players from packs to make the exchange, and then they changed it and they put on triple threat online. But I'm pretty sure they did it because the community was on flames about that.
Oh yeah, we were real uptight. Hey, whoa! I don't want to spend any real money. I don't have to open packs for this reward. I'm entitled. Give it to me for free. Let me earn it.
It was Evan Fournier.
Yeah,
what the heck?
Yep. Who cares? Remember that?
Yeah,
he was a good card at that time.
He was good.
Yeah,
he was good. I had him with the defensive Grinches for a time, and he did pretty well.
Right on.
All right, let's see what else we got. Brand new event cards. Says throughout the NBA 2K22. What you got? You got something from it? You read the whole thing. You know all of this.
Sorry, DFS. Why are you off camera? What are you doing? Are you on the toilet right now?
No.
Toilet DFS over laptop DFS.
I just look at his red shirt.
Throughout NBA 2K22, my team will hold numerous events at the start of seasons during limited time events. Okay, those are back. And for great moments in the league. Hopefully more moments cards. For these, we have created one more card type in the NBA 2K22 My Team event cards. Earnable and pullable. Look to collect, sell, and exchange these cards. So the exchange is back throughout the mode in different ways all year long. To get started on day one, we've created a 15-card mural for you to assemble. It's commemorate Luka Doncic's NBA 2K22 cover, complete lifetime agendas that touch on all aspects of my team, from playing and winning in different modes, applying consumable cards to your players in your collection, and for defeating the cover athlete spotlight challenge mentioned earlier. Earn all 15 event cards in this collection. Complete this mural for Diamond Luka Doncic, again available on day one. So we basically, here's what I'm thinking about this. These event cards, as we go throughout the seasons, might be spread out throughout the seasons because we know each season is going to be 6 weeks. So they've got to find some way to spread it out. I really don't think we're going to see XP all available on day one. I think they're just going to continue to roll new stuff out as we go. That's just my opinion. Don't know for sure, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's saying though, earn all 15 event cards and complete and collection complete this mural for Diamond Luka available day one. Doesn't that mean that we should be able to, like, if it's win 100 unlimited games, 100 for one piece, 100 triple threat games for another piece? If it says it's available on day one, that means that figuratively someone could in a day could get it all done, right?
Or two if you travel to New Zealand.
There you go. I'm just saying for the event cards in the future, like we might be seeing different event cards for a different event for something later in season one. If that makes sense. Again, we're all kind of grasping at straws here,
right?
But know something.
I mean, something I could possibly think about seeing
sorry.
in the future. Maybe when we get like the MVP or the final like season awards and stuff like that. Maybe they'll do something like that with a card. But at that point, I feel like they're definitely gonna throw in some pay to win stuff in there. By that point, where they're like juice cards.
Yeah, I mean, pay to win or pay to lose against me.
That's also a thing though. I've seen the best teams fall to the all Ruby teams and stuff like that. So
yeah,
don't let your credit card speak for you.
And unless you're like really, really, really nice at the game, then it can speak very well for you.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. Speaking of being very good at the game, 250,000 My Team Unlimited tournaments. We are gonna have one for each generation. I think is what what they were talking about here. How do you? I mean, I'm definitely not gonna qualify or anything like that. So how do you guys feel about this one in terms of just thinking about the possibilities?
I'll go first on this. This is a major W, and I'm the furthest thing from comp. But could we possibly see somebody win on both? That would be like beyond historic, and the fact that a lot there 2K21, obviously there was a split. There were a lot of guys on current, and there became a lot of guys on next. So if somebody can master both and win both, be phenomenal. But the fact that we're getting two tournaments is going to be awesome come the springtime, February, March, when we see this in action. And I'm so glad they decided to do it this way.
I think that they talked a little bit about lowering the gap in between both gens with some of the changes that they made as well.
It's just that we've reached a situation where if we would have just got it on current, or if we would have just got it on next, that would have kind of pissed some people off, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And this does a good job of catering to both audiences. And you have a situation, and I'm just going to say it because, he's my guy. What if Ty wins both?
Yeah, that would be. I mean, that would be quite the accomplishment. I mean, that Ty's the one who I always
double champ.
Yeah,
I mean, or something. You could do
cross
so many
gen
guys
champ
that can go ahead and make a name, and we can go ahead and sit down and talk about these names all day. Splash has had a heck of a year. You know, is he going to step up and try to do both? It's really going to be an interesting time because I followed the competitive scene, although I
I
accept the
gotta
game.
mention. I gotta mention. Sorry to cut you off. I gotta mention my boy Joe Mine there because he's Puerto Rican like me. I gotta throw him in there as well. He got a bounce back year coming up.
Oh yeah, man, he's in the mix. You know, I know he's grinding. Maybe he's the champion. Who knows? The door is wide open on both ends, and that's awesome.
I
Yeah,
mean, more money for the community. That's amazing. I'm happy to see some of these guys who live and breathe this game get a chance to actually like have it pay off for them, not just in having followers, but actually having dollars. So
for
be
sure.
great to see.
That thing, I feel like they're taking some pages from other franchises, and I feel that this is a step in the right direction though for them. Because they're picking some of the stuff that we enjoy from the other franchises. So they're making adjustments for the betterment of the community, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a really good direction to have both tournaments, and I mean, eventually it's going to go back to one, so the prize pool is going to probably get cut back down. But I don't think it will be. I think this is like them testing a bigger prize pool, and then we might eventually either see more people in the tournament get paid out potentially, which a lot of other esports do, is pay out to first, second, third, fourth, everyone down the line, and should be getting a little piece of the action because they're creating essentially the most hyped official tournament content that there is, and the whole community always seems to get super into it, and I love to see it.
Here's
One thing
hoping, yeah, because I seen like I'm sorry, when the runner up and we're like, here you go, a swag bag, and you're like, damn, he really didn't go there for that though. Like it's kind of so hopefully, right? They get down some better prices down the line with that.
one thing that should be said, and I don't know how many people talked about this change that they made in 21, but you had $200,000 to the winner, and then the runner up got 50,000. So to make it that far, obviously still rewarded even if you didn't end up winning it. So that was a good thing.
Oh, of course, that's a good thing, but I mean, realistically, like if you're putting in the effort to actually even be in the tournament, wouldn't it be nice to get $100 or something? Like, come on.
I mean, they make that, but they make a lot more than that on packs. They can throw a
Oh,
little
for
more
sure,
to the community with that.
for sure.
I played in the qualifiers for fun, just for poops and giggles. And there was a point in time where I was number 40 in the world. And that didn't last long.
But
But
you and me have very different ideas of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere with it. I said, let's just see the competition I play. I think I forced a couple of quick quits in one of those qualifiers, and I was like, nah, let me just keep grinding XP. But it was really neat to try my luck at it. Say, you know what, I got nothing to lose. Let's just go ahead and do it, and it was fun. And I remember I took a picture of it. At one point, I was number 40 in the world on Xbox.
I mean, it's super cool how you can just be like playing MyTeam and hit R1 or whatever, go over to a tab, and it's like, oh, a tournament. I can play. I can qualify right now. Let's play. Like, that's super cool that it's just like integrated, because a lot of the, not a lot, every tournament in outside of that one is you have to schedule with your opponent when you're going to play them, and then report your results and all this stuff, and one of you has to be streaming or whatever the requirements are. So yeah, I'm excited to see the 250K this year and see the new contenders, because I think we're going to get a new contender eventually, right?
Oh yeah, I think we're going to see plenty of new faces pop up, especially
Yeah.
with both tournaments.
For sure. All right, what about this one? Holo playing cards coming to my team. Oh no, let me just. I'm gonna group them together. Holo playing cards, and there's also the grading system that they got going on here. How you
I
guys
love.
feeling about that one?
I think this is so cool because I wouldn't say I'm a card collector per se, but I do enjoy getting cards, and I always did when I was a kid. I mentioned this to you guys, and one thing that we got to see here with the holographic cards, While they have the same attributes I'm reading from the blog and badges as their common versions, there will be certain agendas and lineup rules, so maybe limited restrictions that require the use of these rare and special cards. So be on the lookout for these versions of your favorite players while sniping on the auction house. So here we have a holographic Vince Carter, for example. He's a Sapphire. There's a picture of him here. Will there be a certain XP agenda with the holographic version? Is the holographic version going to be significantly more expensive than the regular version? Will it be an awesome flex to see a holographic version of the lineup? And you see this Vince Carter does have the original owner sticker on it. There's a lot of questions. Now, I'm super excited about the grading. I think that's so cool, but I don't think anybody understands how it works. Like, what makes a card a 7.8 as opposed to a 9.2 or whatever the case may be? I love the fact that I can go and get my cards graded. I don't know how it works, but I can earn more MT in the process. So those are two of my favorite things from this whole shebang here.
I think my concern, I guess, with this one would be that it wouldn't be an RNG thing. Anything other than that they can come up with is probably a way better alternative than that.
How could it possibly be RNG? I'm just curious.
I have no idea. Like, you just send it and they just give you a random number as opposed to just, there being a reasoning behind that.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean for grading. I was like, I saw somebody say something about holographic cards being RNG. We just say RNG for everything.
I mean, they flow out of pack though, so it's probably gonna be a lesser amount, or like worse odds than the normal cards would be.
I mean, there has to be, or else there's no point.
There's
right?
no point.
Who cares about a holographic?
What makes it that is that they're gonna be rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
It brings me back in the day when we had the signature cards, but some of them were really, really limited. So I don't know.
It could be something similar to that, and it'd be cool. And I'll just go ahead and say it. How about a holographic Dorian Finney-Smith? That would set the professor's lineup apart just a little bit.
I mean, if you look at the graded cards in the screenshot, there's Gordon Hayward, gold Gordon Hayward holographic. So without a doubt, there will be holographic Dorian Finney-Smith, and he probably won't be worth much, especially because you like him.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Shots fired.
Hey, man. I do like this holographic Siakam. I think that's really cool art.
Look good.
For me, I shout out your team and you diss my guy. But, my thing is just, how is the grading going to work? And I saw this guy on Twitter yesterday, man. He said, what if I send your cards to get graded and they don't come back?
I saw that also, yeah.
2K has me hook, line, and sinker on this whole grading thing. I am so excited to see how it works, how long it takes, how much more MT I can earn, all that stuff. And alongside that, the holographic stuff looks really, really good.
Imagine a Holo 10.0 DFS on your lineup.
Hey, anything is possible on my team, especially this year.
That's what we like about it, for sure.
I was hearing some people speculate about. I was reading some people speculating about possibly like your added consumables attributing to the how it gets minted, or like if you have a bunch of badges on it, it gets a higher rating. I don't know if that's gonna. I mean, it's just pure speculation.
It's a possibility, though.
Yeah, and on these cards it says medium MT bonus for Daryl Griffith, very small MT bonus for Ben Simmons, medium MT bonus for Marc Gasol, and the thing is though is Marc Gasol has a medium MT bonus and he's an 88 overall, and like Danny Ferry's MT bonus is small because he's a 76 overall, but how the card is graded is a 9.0 on Danny Ferry, and I don't know if that factors into how much MT bonus you're getting. I'm just guessing that the more graded cards you have in your lineup, at the end you get like a flat little payout of or like a multiplier increase on your earnings, your in-game earnings at the end, you know, when it tallies it all up. And
I think
I think
seeing Ben Simmons be get a very small. I don't know if just tied to the 3-point rating at all, but other than that, I really wouldn't know what to make of it, to be honest.
this is going to be one of those game within the game kind of things, and obviously Floki can speak about the auction house, and I think you might want to get to the shoes next. But and I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about that. But with the grading, how is this going to work? I have 10,000 questions about it, but you've got me hooked on this.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. It's gonna be super exciting to see, because it just adds a whole other aspect to this same game we've been playing for years. You know, it's been the same game last year, same game the year before. You know, we had more updates to it, but it's the same thing. You're playing through the same modes, and now the fact that we had the exchange last year, now we're going to be able to grade our cards. Yeah, I'm excited for anything new that gets added, and maybe this is the feature that I'm able to make lots of content about, and maybe that's going to be amazing. So I don't know. I got an open mind to everything.
They had a lot of interesting
Original
things.
owners from the exchange. Thank you.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I have to agree with that one. This one I saw and I thought of you because of the first time that I saw your content was the shoe guides.
Yeah.
And so, we have the craft shoes and the MT shoe lab, MyTeam shoe lab. How do you feel about this one? What do you think?
I mean, it was a total shock. Like, when you're thinking about what's coming in the next year's game, the last thing I was expecting, like, I love customization. I love changing skins on, like, we're going to be able to change what colorway of the shoe we have. We can customize the stats, so you don't have to have like the ugliest shoe because it has strength. You're going to be able to change that. That's going to be awesome. And a huge part of what I found really fun, like in 2K20, was getting all my guys with the same shoes. And in 2K21, I found that like some of my best guys that I would get, like Luca, were Jordan brand. So I had to give them different shoes. I couldn't give them the Grinches. So I'm excited to see, what this ends up allowing as far as like, I'm excited to see like what all the full customization features are, and I'm really excited to see how it affects the market. Like, am I going to be like sniping for shoe skins? Like, am I going to be getting a certain shoe because how it looks now, not because of the certain stats? Yeah. So, and then who's to say? Like, who's to say what's
I
the
like
best
the
looking
PlayStation
shoe?
Paul Georges.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to. I'm excited to see all what spawns from it, and it's just, I don't know. To know that I'm not going to be doing the same exact thing that this year sounds amazing, because you can only get so far typing in spreadsheets how much a shoe costs every day or whatever. It's a little much.
So I want to bring your attention to something that I thought was interesting. I saw a screenshot on Twitter yesterday of the Triple Threat online rewards that look to be, the actual rewards, like our new demon Gus Gerard, the new dentist or whatever it may be. And there is, I believe it was a shoe pack, and it had 4 cards in it, and I put 2 and 2 together, and I think one of those would be a boost card for a shoe that you can customize, because for this Grinch picture here that I'm looking at right now, it has 5 boosts remaining, and you can go ahead and build that's exactly the one. So you can go ahead and build the way one you like. And so, I just like seeing things cross over into other things. Like, okay, I'm going to get rewarded for playing something, and then I can go and make it into something new. And my favorite shoe in 2K20 was definitely the Fear of God shoe, the mint green ones. That was my hands down favorite shoe that I had on a lot of my guys. Jeremy Lin, when I evolved him up to pink diamond, those were the days, my friends.
Yeah, that was a classic shoe. And then they halfway through the year they came out with the other Fear of God that was like off white, like grayish or whatever.
Yeah, we had that cool concept update in 2K20 where they just added a bunch of diamond shoes randomly. That was pretty neat to see. And
yeah, I was expecting Reeboks this year at like some point.
This takes that to a whole new level, man. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, it's right up your alley, so it'll be neat.
I like it. I like that we're getting new things. I like, like you said, the game within the game, everything else that we're getting that we didn't have prior. It's interesting. The only thing I am concerned with on this one is if we're gonna get a lot of extra uh, less useful cards on packs with this system, or if we're gonna get just packs separate that are with this within this. I think that's the only thing because I know we do have like the injury cards and stuff like that that we really just quick sell. So I think is that gonna be something else doing with this? But other than that, I'm very excited for the system. As you said, we can put together the shoe that we want, and then just have our whole team wear that one and stuff like that. Definitely something like nice to see. Just that one little nitpick that hopefully that's not what it is, but we will see.
If a shoe boost card, let's say that hypothetical, becomes as common as an injury card, that's a W.
No, absolutely. I mean, to a degree, I would like to see these shoe boost cards be somewhat rare because then it creates the whole consumable market that really is something that pretty much anyone can learn and get into and make a good amount of MT on a regular basis. And any methods that I think are easy have to be easy because I get if I think it's easy, it's easy, and anyone can do it. So I definitely don't want to see like just us being flooded with all this stuff because another auction category that gets another auction list that's really long and lots of scrolling, like I don't know. But if we get rid of injury cards, I don't know. Was there any word on that?
I don't think I
But
saw anything on that.
in theory, this whole shoe thing, you could spend hours on this.
Yeah.
And it says that every shoe colorway in my team now has a bronze, silver, gold, and diamond variant. So, yeah, man. I mean, I thought about you yesterday, man, because this is neat.
And if you don't,
Yeah, man.
if you don't know how to work the shoe system, we're not 100% on this one yet. But I promise you, Floki's gonna find out. So you need to follow him if you aren't, because he's gonna set you right on that path to make sure that you make the most out of this whole shoe system.
I got you.
All right, let's see what else
What
we
you got
got.
next for us?
What's that?
What you got next for us? Let's go.
Let's see. The starter cards, I think, is the next thing that we have. Uh, do you want to read anything on that? I know that it said somewhere where that you would be able to get all of them, which is interesting for everybody that's trying to get those collectors levels up. And it also does have to do, I think, something with the whole Luca thing. But you know what? Let me just ask you this off of the top of our heads right now, or maybe you've had a little bit of time to think about it. But who do you think you're going with first?
I'm going with Donovan. He's one of my favorite players. And I think he's a no-brainer for me. If I had to pick the community's most popular pick, it'll definitely be Tatum.
You think so?
I do. He's a popular player, and he's a fun card to use in 2K, even at an Emerald level. Um, but let me go ahead and I know I've been reading a lot, and I know it's probably like nails on a chalkboard. But let me go ahead and read. Uh, the choice of which evolution to starter to pick is yours through our brand new option packs. For the first time ever in my team, you can earn all 5 of these starter cards to assemble an all-star worthy lineup. Oh, okay. Relax. After fully evolving a starter player, you will unlock a new lifetime agenda. That's interesting, which will let you open the starter option pack a second, third, fourth, and fifth time to add all of these players to your collection. I like that a lot, actually. But it doesn't end there. Fully evolve that fifth starter player, and you will earn the first historic coach of the year, Emerald Phil Jackson, by completing all the evolutions in the starter collection. So that is something that is very interesting. Now, I wasn't on Twitter in 2K20, and it's one of my things that I was like, oh, I wish I was. Evo cards back in those days were my favorite things to do. And this is giving us a taste of something that, okay, it's back. We can earn each card, which might be a big deal to start. And you'd have to imagine, even though it's an Emerald Phil Jackson, that he's going to be pretty freaking good. and might be a coach you want to use. Imagine this: you have those guys evolved. You have Emerald Phil Jackson. You have shoes on them with those boots that we talked about. I mean, and the badges, and there's so much. Seems like there's customization here, and something that I'm very excited about. So yeah, I mean, definitely, I like all of these cards except for Trey Young. I really do.
A lot of the community, I think they just jump into domination right away. So have it, taking the time to do this will give you a pretty good start to take over that domination. Because usually you go like, okay, so what am I gonna take? Probably a center, because that's probably the hardest matchup at domination at the start of the year. But now you can have all of them emoed up, stuff like that, like you said, all set up, good to go, and ready to take over that domination.
Let's
What's up with Trey Young though? Why is Trey Young getting no love?
uh, he might be okay at the beginning because, but he can't guard a parked car,
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Hey,
and it's just like I
I'm
like
personally
Tatum.
going with Tatum, I think, but and, as the first one. But here's the way I'm thinking about it. Oh, and this is something that I don't know if you guys know. I said it last year, and I tagged a bunch of content creators, and they went and did their videos about it, and got a bunch of thousands of views, and didn't even give me a shout out. But the my career point guard thing, there was a you could make up to a 6'8", and then you can give him whatever animations you want and stuff like that. And all of that, the whole long wingspan, everything translated to this with the standard over what's it called, the stats that those cars get. So he was ridiculously OP from the beginning. I saw that, and I let everybody know last year that was my banger tweet of 2K21. Everybody had it. I think so. If it's gonna be a thing again, that's something that you want to keep in the back of your head. I'm gonna be going with him if possible. If it's the same thing at the point guard, then I have the 75 the edition 75 anniversary edition. So I'm gonna have a power forward center. So I'm thinking, a shooting guard. I'm probably they said something about the Kobe. If not, I'm thinking I'm gonna get that Luca real quick. So I was like, okay, so maybe Tatum, because I know getting to Melo is gonna take me a little bit longer. So that was my reasoning behind that. But who knows? I mean, I got some BC from the pre-order. Maybe I'll get something else in packs, or I don't know. We'll see.
Your
I
six
mean,
eight
we're
point guard
serious
will.
players. We're all players who play pretty seriously. Let's not pretend we're going to keep this guy in our lineup much more than like 7 games. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna be able to turn that thing around real quick. But I mean, it'll figuratively evolve to a ruby, right? So
Hmm.
should be pretty usable. And I have to say, while I'm speaking, because I'm excited to tell you, I'm going to choose Zion Williamson
Okay.
because I can choose him. So why wouldn't I choose him? Like, I mean, Jokic is going to be slow. Zion is going to be fast.
He's
And
gonna be a tank going to the
yeah,
rim, man. I don't know that a lot of people are gonna be able to outguard him in the beginning, probably at that position.
yeah, I'm
That's
going to
a
have to
smart pick as
master
well.
the dunk in traffic meter. Now we're pulling down on the right stick. You have to like time it to dunk on people. That'll be cool. I don't know.
Your 6'8" point guard will absolutely cook Trey Young. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
But on the flip side, I think Ace made a great point when he said these guys can be useful in domination. I'll tell you right now, I don't care what Donovan's requirements are. I'm going to evolve him, and eventually, I'm probably going to go for Phil Jackson to see is he worth it, and try to test that out because
You're gonna go for an Emerald Phil Jackson? Wow, tell us about it.
no, I am because
I'm just kidding, man. I'm
no, I am. The reason I am actually is because I want to see the requirements for all these guys. I want to have all these guys in my collection. I want to use Tatum as well. I mean, I love the way Donovan moves. I get it. He's not a big guard or anything like that, but like
My
he's one of my
point guard
favorite.
will also step on him.
Listen, man. Listen.
He's a better defender than Trey, but he's still getting stepped on by a
You're
8 point
right.
guard.
You're right. You're right. But I'd rather take Donovan on defense than Trey Young.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
rather take myself on defense than Trey Young. And that's saying something.
wow.
But
You're gonna meet Trey Young one day, and he's gonna slap you, buddy.
Look, man. If you guys have heard of 6 degrees of separation, I believe in that, and I know some people who are closely connected to Trey Young, which is all well and good, but You know what? He can have a nice day, honestly.
You got a big mouth there, buddy.
Especially in my team, it's like there will never be a situation where a Trae Young card is good in my team. Like,
Yeah,
can we
no.
just agree on
No,
that?
no, I'm gonna beat your ass this year with Trae Young. So
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one. We gotta see that one being streamed or video or something. We definitely gotta see that. Hopefully, a
And,
stream
and,
where we can
and
react to it live.
yeah,
if
we'll
you
have some fun
say you're
content
gonna
this year.
outgrind me, and then you say you're gonna do it with Trae Young, bro, I don't know. I might have to retire after that. I might have to call quits after that.
Bro,
I'm
you
about to
don't
go
even
through this.
know.
I'm
Like,
about to go through this whole video, making sure that I take note of everything that was said.
Hey,
yeah,
man,
hold us accountable. We're in. We're locked in.
we're
This
gonna
year.
look back on this one day, and we're gonna see how this went. But I do like the idea of starter cards evolutions. We've seen it since 2K20 now. Um, And a card like we're just gonna go say Tatum because I feel like he's gonna be the most popular choice. He's a card who could do some damage early on. Last year, when nobody could shoot, I picked Melo, which was so dumb, and barely used him because everybody and their mother had Shaq. So that was definitely an interesting thing. But we'll see. I mean, Zion again. Everybody's a great choice except for Trey.
Look, we have a comment here for you. It says 3 point shot saying last year day one trade was much better than Donovan.
That I hear that, but Trey was never good after that. When when I enjoyed using the Donovan Opal, so I get that.
But we're
But
talking about
I'm
off
looking.
rip though. That's that we're getting into the game. They won. So Trey. I mean,
Okay,
I
okay.
think that Trey is gonna like just go lights out on that domination.
We're in a situation where we're talking about defense, right? They're talking about
But
defense of the
yeah,
ball.
but then I would take Ben Simmons over that. But then I can't shoot.
I'm not bringing Trey Young any triple threat online for the 100. I'm not bringing Trey Young anywhere, quite
I'm not.
frankly.
Yeah. You're not wrong there either. All right. So this
I think you're
part.
afraid.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get cooked. Like either one of them gonna get cooked. To be honest, he gonna
It's
bring
a
any one of them, and my 6'8" point guard is just gonna run all over him.
it's a shame that we have these small guards that will quite literally never be great in my team. You know, and the obvious example is Iverson, of course.
Hmm.
Uh, obviously one of the greatest players of my generation, of our generation. And he'll never have a card that really wows you because of his height, and it's kind of the same thing with Trey, honestly.
That's
And
unfortunate.
it's a shame because Allen Iverson's a lot of people's favorite player. Trey Young is a lot of people's favorite player. Like
I mean, this year they are kind of like touting that smaller guards are going to be more usable in like
Mhm.
park and stuff. So you'll have to think that
It's gonna
some of the
translate.
benefits, some of the benefits that
Hopefully,
those
yeah.
guys are going to be getting will come through to my team. It's not
I
like they
think
program the game separately. It's the same thing.
something about
we'll see.
that I think about is that it's part of the evolution of the game as well. The fact that nowadays we're getting more the taller point guards, and that's the meta in terms of my team, but is also kind of translating in real life as well. And as we get more, because the way that they did it was okay. So for example, like Cape Cunningham, he would be a shooting guard or a small forward to start the year, whether he is in real life or not, just so that we could be able to use the smaller point guards. But we have so many taller point guards, and at this point, that's gonna end real quick. I think.
Remember the dark matter, Trey Young? Yeah, nobody else does either.
Wait, the weekly
Wait,
login reward? Of
there was a
course, of
dark matter Trey
course.
Young.
Yeah.
Oh, must be that one week
Okay.
that I missed.
I've
Yeah.
said my piece about Trey Young. I think we all know how I feel about him. We'll go ahead and move forward.
All right, so the My
Yeah.
Team base set is the next thing that we talked about a little bit before. We're gonna be having both current and former players on this one. I
and
think
we know that Yao and Danny Ferry are in that set. So
I like that.
yeah.
Yao that his thing is his low, but if most center are slow at start of the game, he's still going to be pretty OP. I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if he's a gold card, for the limited and anything that has a requirement for using low tier cards. Having the tallest guy, is usually pretty good.
So there's a couple,
especially as everybody learns to shoot, and you just be grabbing all the rebounds.
There's a couple cards here in this particular screenshot that catch my eye, and Daryl Griffith catches my eye, and Marcus All catches my eye, and obviously Kobe. But it's going to be interesting. Is that Danny Ferry card going to be, obviously nerfed, but will he be good? Well, the whole community is probably excited to see. So,
I mean, he's going to be as good as like Gold Antoine Walker, probably. Not good. He's just going to be a guy.
I hope that he's better. I hope that he's better because I remember getting XP with Antoine Walker. Oh god.
I know a lot of people are gonna be getting him off of the name that he made himself on this one, and I think I would suggest that you hold off until you've seen how he actually plays. Because if you end up playing a lot because of his name and then he doesn't translate at the in the goal level, that's a whole you're just wasting money at that point.
I'll just make a big hype train about Danny Ferry. He sucks. Everyone will know he sucks, but we'll pretend like he's good.
Just get a bunch. I know some people that do that. Just get a bunch of them and then use them and just be like, "Hey, this card is the best card in the game," and then you just slowly get rid of your stash.
You never know. Traditionally,
empty making tips right here.
Early game Ben Simmons is always an option. So obviously that catches my eye as well. So yeah, this whole base set thing.
Jonathan Isaac is one that's always pretty good at the start of the year as well.
Exactly. He's one of my favorite cards to use in 2K across the board. Like we were in situations last year where I was using Emerald Jonathan Isaac and loving it, and then remember his diamond card from 20, and then obviously his opal this year. Which that was the one card I just badged to the gills, man. Like, I put a bunch of badges on him and had way too much fun with that card, and unfortunately had to sell him. Pain. But yeah, that was neat. It's interesting here. Yeah, man, that Gasol card is probably going to be good with as far as a pick and pop situation goes.
He's not going to shoot, dude.
He's not going to shoot. Though. Like, he got to be better than all of them, I think.
I don't think Gasol really had much of a shooting game until the last couple years. Like the 2 or 3 years, he's only been able to shoot. So I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll end up.
That's a Grizzlies Gasol. That's all. If he had a Raptors jersey, I'd say you can shoot deep. But
I'll go ahead and read. We're looking forward to dropping current Series 1 when the NBA season gets underway. So obviously we know what that is. But for this first portion of the year, you can fill out your lineup with likes of Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, and even Yao Ming. Yao Ming, Yao Ming, Yao Ming, Yao Ming. Yes, most of the all-time greats will be representing the base set of my team, ready to be experienced by any and all dropping into the mode. Beyond the names are 45 different dynamic duos, so we've got duos and evos back to begin the year, with each franchise getting one duo. Oh, I like that. Hopefully we don't see another Sim Vular, Tyrese Halliburton duo, plus 15 additional duos that span across locker rooms to the other teams. Okay, you have my attention.
I see T-Mac here, and he's always a community favorite. I think some of his cards, even the earlier cards, like we had that San Antonio T-Mac, it was Sapphire, yeah, and he wasn't even bad. Like I think it's 6'8" shooting guard. He can shoot. He can do a little bit of everything. Slash. I think there are going to be some key cards here that's going to be fun finding out who the tops are going to be to start the year.
It's cool to see a lower tier version of a Yao Ming and of a Kobe, and we would like that because in theory they'd be accessible to people who are just coming in or just anybody playing the game. Oh, Yao is my favorite player. I can get him for cheap. You'll love that.
Yeah, for sure. That it gives you more accessibility, like you said, to build this kind of team that you have. If you want to play with your favorite players, you don't have to go over and spend a lot of money or anything like that. Where you just be able to have them in this the early game like that.
Sure.
And it also gives a lot of thing in customization, like it says here, but customization for your lineup in terms of if you're gonna be playing with friends or if you're gonna play in a tournament setting where you have restrictions, even limited, like we talked about, but where you're gonna have restrictions in your lineup, then you can just slot somebody that you play well with here and just give you a whole nother level of it. And then, speaking of customization, team customization, it's one of the favorite parts of some of the community. There's some really talented people out there that do, the jerseys, the arena, stuff like that. The things that we don't want, well, I speak for myself, but, I'm sure you guys agree. We don't want to see things that don't belong in the basketball court. But other than that, because we've seen a lot of that, unfortunately, in years past.
I've seen a lot of that.
But other than that, just being able to express yourself, because that's part of basketball culture, right? You just be able to express yourself in that way. I think that's always been a good thing. Something that they're doing is to make sure that the jerseys are not gonna throw you off when they're playing, which is a huge, huge quality of life thing. I think that we've been wanting. What else
Very
do you guys
much.
see from here that interests you?
I got something. I just read this.
He got echo. He's definitely in the toilet.
No, I'm not. It's my new apartment. It echoes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We've also changed up how you earn the current jerseys, courts, arenas, and logos. Play with any NBA player from an NBA team to complete new lifetime agendas. Drop 3 slam dunks and control the boards to earn your new favorite NBA team's current franchise cards. So that's interesting. And that kind of leads me to something that I wanted to touch on. We haven't heard much about domination, and we haven't heard much about triple threat offline. So I'm very interested. Last year we knew we were getting Van Exel, Blackman, and Mikan. This year, domination, we know it's there, but it's kind of a question mark.
A thing that I do miss when you talk about domination was back in the, I don't remember exactly what year it was, but where we used to have to pick between 3 players when we ended it. I think that was another thing because you could go with what your needs for the team were. You could go with a player that was worked out better with your style of play. And I think that was one of those things that I'm missing because, like I said, the team building aspect is one of my favorites.
Yeah, so I believe that was 2K17 you're talking
Mm.
about, and by that same token, in a way, you kind of get that with the whole starters and evolving them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
kind of.
Yeah.
I just like wherever we can get a little bit more choice. I just enjoy that.
I agree. Like I'm right with you, Ace. I think that the level 40 reward should be a choice of 3 or 4 even.
The show does that. The show does that.
That's an amazing idea because everyone's putting in this grind, but everyone's putting in the grind to have the same card that like everyone like.
And then you jump into a limit and every has
honor,
the exact same team.
Yeah, I would love for to be able, instead of Carmelo Anthony, if I could choose like an actual star like Trae Young, that would be amazing if I could.
We're not. Oh my god!
I do hope that they fix Melo's shot. Him being the first season reward and all. We definitely need that.
It would be cool to have a choice, and I do, and I actually play the show a bit actually, and it is neat, but I do like obviously the achievement that comes with grinding for level 40, and we're gonna look back and is Melo. Am I excited about Melo as I was for Steph? No, but am I excited about Melo? Yes, I am. And we're gonna look back and we're gonna say, you know what? If you completed that season grind for Melo, you probably had an advantage early on, and I do like getting the one card that is neat. But I see both sides of it.
Yeah.
I think seasons got easier for XP wise as they kept progressing. That's how I felt. So I think getting the first one kind of sets the tone whether you're gonna be able to do certain things. Like it is like you guys said, a badge of honor in that way. Because you can get that one and then be like, well, I did it. I don't have to push myself now if I don't want to, but you can see that I did it. Like I can if I want to, kind of thing.
Yep.
The good thing
I've been to the top of the mountain before.
Yeah. especially early on, grinding so hard to get to 40 was absolutely worth it. I mean, I look at a situation where seasons 1 through 5, I mean, those were dominant cards across the board. Even Wade, who I was so excited to get, and he ended up being pretty good for me. But Steph and Blake, I mean, come on. And then you had Kawhi, one of my favorite cards of all time.
I
And then
really regret missing him.
he was
I
The
didn't get him.
Kawhi,
he was amazing.
I went wild off rip on that season, and I burned myself out. So I was close, but I ended up just deciding not to do it because of that, and I regretted it until the end
I
because
feel
he
you on
was
that,
so good.
I got Kawhi really quickly, and I'm glad I did, but I was just like, why did I go so fast? So remember, if anybody out there watching this, it's okay to pace yourself. If you skip a day or two here and there and don't get any XP, you'll be all right.
And that's we're gonna transition to that. If you don't know where to go for XP, check out the professor at at the FS. He's gonna set you right on that path. That's what he does best, and better than anybody else. He has every time that something comes up every day, he'll have it out there for you, so you know exactly what to work towards, and he will set you right. You will get that level 40. You can pace yourself. You don't have to worry too much about it. But if you don't follow, make sure you ahead and do that. Same with Floki and
Appreciate
the
that.
shoes and everything like that. What's that?
I appreciate that, man. That sorry to cut you off. That's very kind of you to say. Um, yeah, it's neat. It's really cool to get to grind to 40 and to help other people do it along the way. And it works as a tandem because Floki helps you make more MT when times are uncertain and tough, and you need MT to buy players, to rent players for XP and things of that nature. So it's 2K20 had awesome content, but there was no seasons, and it's huge to grind for something each. Now we'll know for sure is every 6 weeks, and it's cool to look at all my level 40 players plus Invincible Blake, which was a whole nother grind in itself.
Thank you.
That's kind of why I wanted to, bring this project forward. I think this give be a good tool for the community, just to say maybe we do it once a week or something like that. Just come up here and give some tips, if we're able to or whatnot. Or maybe bring some content creators as well. Maybe some trying to get up there and stuff like that. Just bring the community together, make sure that we're all getting the most out of our time, out of stuff like that. I think that's what something that is needed. I know you guys have been on top of that yourselves. You got a group. Why don't you tell us about that before we move forward? Why don't you tell us about that? Because I know I saw that on the Discord and I was like, okay, this is an excellent idea. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you talking about the My Team community Discord, or are you
Yeah.
talking about like some of the Twitter spaces that we've been hosting, or
That's
maybe
a
both?
both, yeah. Because I know, yeah, I haven't been able. I've been at work at some of the points where you've been doing the spaces. I have been checking out the Discord, and you guys are doing great stuff out there. For some for people that are have a little bit have had a better opportunity at this point to come down and help the rest of the community to get to that level and that kind of thing. Just do what they want to get, what they want to get out of the game and stuff like that. I think that is outstanding what you guys are doing with that. So why don't you explain a little bit for the people that are watching?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Discord is obviously a really great. Not obviously, it's a great tool. It's a great community building tool. It's like a private social network for if you're not familiar with what Discord is. It's a text chat and video chat. And usually it's pretty robust communities with lots and lots of different channels and just different ways to communicate and collaborate together. And this My Team community Discord is something a few content creators came together to put out there, and we're just working to essentially bring everyone in together so we can all support each other, and so that if you don't necessarily, maybe you don't have Twitter, maybe you aren't taking part in a Reddit community or one of the forums out there, great places to connect with other 2K fans. But yeah, we're just trying to make a little place where you can, have your say or ask a question to somebody like me and not feel like you're bothering me, or like, don't feel like if you don't have a public profile that you need to send me a message, or you want to have someone rate your team. There's channels for that. There's all sorts of stuff, and it's not like an online commitment. It's not like you have to, be like, I'm showing this off to the whole world. I hope I get upvotes. I hope I get likes. It's nothing like that. It's just a constant scrolling little community, and I think it's going to be a really big resource for anyone who's just wanting to get a little bit more involved in the community. There's the place. You can contribute as much or as little as you want, and we're going to be culminating as many resources together. So if you have any questions, what are some good snipe filters? What should I be buying on the auction house? Or what are some of the best budget players available? Well, chances are you'll be able to get a really good and fast answer out of this Discord, and that's kind of the vision. I don't know if you have any more to expand on that, DFS.
I do, actually. Surprise there. I want to talk. But no, this is actually important, surprisingly. I want to shout out two people for really making this happen. And obviously, everybody in this stream probably knows Bio2K. So he was the man with the plan. I've watched his videos for a long time. And I know Floki and I have relationships with him, so that's pretty neat. And he messaged me, and we were just talking about this Discord, and the other mastermind behind this was Print Parachute 6. So you guys go ahead and follow those guys because they're the ones who reached out to me and wanted to get this whole thing going. So go follow them. I know Print, he streams all the time, and then Bio, he's got his XP. He does XP a little bit of a different way. So it's pretty neat to see with that. And obviously we have some similarities and some differences in our content, but he's just a great resource and everybody should be following really both of those guys. And it's just been neat. You watch some of these YouTube videos for a long time and you get a chance to connect with them. It's pretty cool. So shout out to both of those guys. And then I'd like to go ahead and for both of us to talk about our spaces that we've done. It's been really neat. It's been really, really neat to host and talk with everybody and have people in and sort of like a conference call or a radio show or however you want to think of it, where people call in, ask questions, ask our opinions, and we plan on doing another one soon. So that's going to be really cool, where we can talk more about the blog and do something similar to this. But yeah, just to connect with some people live, because for a lot of folks, they don't think they have the opportunity to talk to, content creators, but like, I want to make it, and I know Floki wants to make it, so they can talk to us at any time. If you ever have a question, you DM me. If you ever have a question, just tweet at me, whatever the case may be. I'm more than happy to help. I'd like to think, I pride myself on my helpfulness and my accessibility. So go ahead and just, do that. And I'll probably have a response to you in 0.5 seconds. But it'll be neat. And when you talk about the Discord and the spaces, those are two big things.
And this
absolutely. And I just want to expand on that, saying that accessibility is something that DFS and I are really is important to us. Is if you want to build yourself up in the community, what better way than to listen to the people who want to support you, who listen to the people and actually hear the people that are there liking your stuff or giving you the little boost. If I post something and it doesn't get a whole lot of likes, it's not, I'm not usually get upset. It's just more of like a lesson of, okay, I need to tailor my content a little bit better, or make sure I'm posting it at a relevant time or something like that. And a lot of people will just get discouraged and that'll be it. But ultimately, like today, I have an alternate Twitter account that I tweeted on. It only has like 350 followers, but I tweeted, which is a lot. That's a lot. But I tweeted out, I hope you're having a great weekend. especially those who can reply, and made it one of the tweets where only if I'm following you, you can reply. And on my second Twitter account, which I'll plug shamelessly, is Floki5001. I'll follow everyone back there. And yeah, it's just like just me saying have a great weekend, but making it so that only certain people can reply, which basically is everyone who follows me there. And yeah, I got insane amount of interaction today. Like I couldn't even believe it. Like I couldn't believe it. But then also earlier I tweeted like, you know, something about how I like slushies, and nobody gives a crap about that. No, like 3 people like that or something. And then I have this other one saying have a good weekend, and do a little bit of the social media trickery of saying like only certain people can reply. And of course we're farming interaction at that point. It's not really what I'm trying to do, but I'm
Just showing how it
it's
works.
a whole thing. I want to be accessible. I want people to connect with me, and I really do want to see any prospective creators in the community, or existing creators, like come together. And you know, if you need help, or you know, there's guys out there who, maybe not me, maybe not DFS, you know, but there's guys out there who are on the same exact journey as you, or on the same exact part. And the whole thing with this MyTeam Discord is going to be, you'll meet those guys there. And if I know somebody who's having the same troubles as you, you know, that's, you know, a good way to have a team. DFS and I, we met on Reddit, and we have become such good friends. And it's been an amazing year making content, and growing a little bit of a name in the community, and just trying to be a resource, help as many people as we can. Because at the end of the day, the game isn't like super easy. It's not super accessible. It's especially MyTeam. It's something you got to kind of have a bit of savvy if you want to come out ahead. And whether it's, you know, savvy building lineups, or being able to make the most of your MT, or make the most of your time playing, that's what we're all about. And I mean, I know you too, Ace. We want to see everybody in the community come up together, and yeah, that's sort of the whole deal for the MyTeam community Discord. So. And our Twitter Spaces are just another way for people to connect with us on a different platform that's not private. You know, Twitter's public stuff. Discord is private stuff, but everyone's invited.
And I think I have to say this right here is a testament of that what you're both speaking to right now. I got the I don't know. I felt like I just shoot my shot kind of deal, right? So I wanted to invite both of you because I know you guys are huge resources to the community. You have been for quite some time, and so I just reached out to you guys, immediately said yes, and here we are. So I definitely, yeah, this is a testament to that. I wanna, I'm glad you shout out bio and print and stuff like that, because I've been seeing their content. It's always super helpful stuff. Bio's always got the little tricks to get through certain things, spotlights, domination, all of that. Uh, and to see somebody that's been successful, right? And this is probably something that a lot of us are aspiring to get to a point, like that, to see somebody that is there and is always willing to come down and help everybody else, bring everybody else with him, kind of deal. I see a lot of people in the community that's saying, "Oh, there's enough for all of us to eat," and that kind of thing, but that's not how they really act. They will try to get some stuff from you, but then not really pay forward kind of deal. But definitely, bio and print and everybody, you guys and everybody on that community that are doing this for the rest of us, huge shout out and a huge props for what you're doing.
Yeah, man. I encourage everybody for this to be the year where, even if you think you're not a content creator, you can create content. MyTeam is a complex game mode, and there's a lot of different avenues and ways that you can get involved. Even if you're like a card creator or something like that, if you make like mock cards, like there's a huge audience for that. Like, and that's just one way of like 27 where you could gain traction. And that's one of the biggest things is just realizing that you can create content no matter who you are, no matter how big of a following you have. You never know. And I've been talking about TikTok a lot recently. You could have one TikTok blow up, and boom, you're a content creator.
It only takes one, right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too. I had a we have this other podcast, right? I was talking to you about with my friends, that we talk about more general gaming and stuff like that, TV shows, stuff like that. And I decided, I'm gonna take some clips. The last one I was just a small clip of me ranting about Cyberpunk 77, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe with the clip, people will see, because it's hard for you to decide to spend 2 hours of your time, right? To sit down and watch something, maybe. But if you see something that interests you in a shorter time like that, maybe it'll lead you to, okay, this is something I should watch. So I decided to start doing that with little clips, and hopefully, that's something that helps out a little bit. But like I was saying, having this support system, right, that you guys have created here with the Twitter Spaces, uh, with the Discord and everything like that, is huge, because sometimes you think maybe I can do it and this and that, but it's not. At some point, maybe you get stuck or you get discouraged with the fact that you have less followers or whatnot, but you can talk to you have the resources that you guys put together here, where you can talk to people that gone through it. Then they can tell you, just push through, or they can maybe give you tips of what you can do better. And having the resources and having that community back, and I mean, it's the same community that you're a part of, just pushing you forward. It's a great thing to see.
It's crazy that sometimes I make videos or pictures of what I'm doing to get to level 40. People enjoy seeing that. Because
Yeah.
I mean, which is crazy to think about, because to me it doesn't seem like anything too crazy or special. But like, you never know. I have a saying: if I helped one person, then it's a W. Because if you never know, it might help somebody. I had a situation where content creator tweeted out that Fan Favorites 2 was 300 tokens, and I needed some tokens to lock in for Goodrich for XP. Like, you never know where something, and I've used Goodrich probably like for 2 games. But if you never know that your tweet, your thought, your vision, your idea, your mindset might help somebody. You never know.
Exactly. Like, I just want to expand earlier. You were saying, I'm probably losing my train of thought, but you were saying about content, and it's not. There's so many avenues of content, but one thing I really want to make very clear is just simply having a Twitter account, or simply making a random like Reddit post every now and then of anything, like just your thoughts. That's content. That's
Yeah.
something that can start a discussion. That's something that a content creator like I could see and want to interact with, or want to do something with. And I think that it's super important for the community to have all of the, if you're liking my stuff, I think you're probably pretty smart. If you like my stuff, I think you're awesome. So I definitely want to hear from you. I want to know what your team is like. I want to, I don't need every single person telling me what their team is like, but I care. I want to know if I, see if I follow 2,000 people on Twitter, and I love, and I try to follow content creators. I try to follow anybody who I notice is supporting me a lot. But I care about what these guys are saying, and I really want to see, opinions. Like, if someone's saying like, oh, the gold Gordon Hayward is actually super good, then maybe I get to be the first one to bring that to light for the community and help out a lot of people,
Yeah.
and whether or not it gives me an opportunity to potentially, if that person who said it, maybe they're a content creator, maybe that's a little boost that they need, help them get a few followers here or there. I mean, I know when I was first getting started, like getting, even just, I was following a bunch of people, even just having people follow me back, I was like, oh, cool. Just even regular dudes who play the game, like you're don't have a YouTube channel, don't have anything, they just post their team. I know this guy has a lot of MT, so that I'm happy, because he's the player I'm trying to be out here grinding in the auction house. So yeah, it's always encouraging every little bit. Like, if you're playing 2K, then just the whole best part about my team is getting to talk to the other people about it, because there's just so much strategy and so much so many little like hot tips that can change the game for people. When I started turning people on to like flipping shoes, or certain badges were worth more, that changed a lot of people's approach to the game and allowed people who maybe thought, oh, I never have the top pink diamond cards. Those are the same people now who are like, I always have the best card and I just sell it back, and I bought, because they've got all the tips, they know all the strategies. So, and they all obviously change from year to year and from game to game. And I mean, last year, like from season to season. But yeah, I think that if you're out there and you're enjoying the game, like post your screenshots somewhere, post them, bring them to this Discord. We want your energy, because that's what makes me post stuff. If I hear that I helped you, I'm going to work even harder. And that's legit. So
I want to add one more thing to this, because this is a conversation we could have until Tuesday. But I'm most interested in things that are like extraordinary. And I'll give you an example. I brought to attention on Twitter the other day to a Reddit post, and the guy had exchanges out the wazoo. Like, this guy had some crazy exchange cards that I wouldn't even think of getting, and I have spent more hours on this game than ever talking to any woman ever in my life.
You're talking about the guy who posted like the entire full exchange.
You gotta respect the commitment that he had to do with that, because some of them were bad, like a bad trade-off.
And it turns out, like, I ended up giving him an award on Reddit, because, and that's a cool feature. And it's just like, and then it turns out the guy follows me on Twitter. I had no idea. And then he tweeted at me and he says, "Hey DFS, thanks for the award." And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this dude really did all those exchanges, and he's sharing that. And it's you got to think of it like this. It's not something you see every day. And the question you ask yourself is, am I creating content that you see a lot of, that's saturated, that you see every day? Well, if I am, then it might be time to go in a different direction. There are so many talented people out there, so many talented artists, so many talented people who just love the game. And, this guy with the exchanges, I mean, what the heck? That caught my eye. I was like, this dude has Rudy LaRusso and freaking Seth Curry and Melo and freaking Larry Nance. And I'm like,
Amethyst Luca that came out like really late.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I have a few of those exchange cards, but like a fraction of them. But I say all that to say this: if you can find a way to differentiate your content, which is definitely a difficult thing to do, then there's a niche for you in this community.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna share something, it's probably something that catches my eye. If it's something that's like, whoa, okay, I haven't seen that, or that someone's put a lot of work into this, or whatever. I mean, I try not. I mean, Twitter's my only platform, so I try not to just like retweet a whole lot of stuff, because I just really want anyone who has my notifications on, preferably to get notified of like the actual like content I work hard at, not like I mean, or like me saying congrats to somebody, because I try to, if I see something like worthy of congratsing, I like to do that, even if it's just like, if someone posted that screenshot of the exchanges on Twitter, that's something I'd probably just congrats. But obviously when it gets on a Reddit post, like it's a huge community. It's like tens of thousands of people on there who can see it. Whereas like, a person who has 100 followers, doesn't get 100 impressions probably. So yeah, it's amazing to be parts of these big communities, and they definitely are a jumping point to start creating content for yourself and building a following. And yeah, there's tons of guys out there who are just on the come up. Like a random shout out to like King Mike Graphics, who does like these sick custom cards. Saw him like come into the game last year, and I think that he's gonna come take over the top dog spot for card creation this year. I'm excited to see everyone who starts off, and everyone who goes from the starting point to maybe a little bit of a bigger audience. I'm excited to hopefully help as many people as I can, and I want to collaborate with as many people as I can too.
That's a commendable attitude right there. All right, so we're gonna run through the rest of the blog here. The collector levels, they're saying we're gonna have exclusive basketball tokens, my team points, diamond shoe colorways, my team jerseys over those dozen player rewards. And it started with Sapphire Kobe Bryant for collecting 150 cards, and collecting all your way to one of the 2K cover athletes, Dirk Nowitzki, at 4,000 cards. And then, it mentions the unicorn, as you said before, so we're thinking there's going to be Porzingis in there. Well, how you feel about the collector levels? I don't end up. There was a few years back, I think up to 2K20, I had the top collector, but 2K21 I took a little bit of a step back in terms of the time spent with it and stuff like that. So I didn't quite get there. But yeah, that's something that a lot of the community is interested in.
I just want to say, like, not, I mean, with the collector levels and a lot of other things, like, you can tell 2K is listening to the community on some of these things because we can all agree that the 2K21 collector level was lacking. And this is so stupid, but it just always made me laugh. You get Tatum, and then the reward for everything is one token. It's like, what? Like, I don't know. Like,
I think
it it the collector levels were barely a part of the game, which is a shame because there's so much other great content. Like, and then the other thing is like Dame, he was outclassed right away. And it's like there's these people out there who go and collect 2,000 cards and are excited for Dame, and I love Dame. I actually share a birthday with him. There's your random pointless fact for the day. But that's all well and good, and then like he's not even good like 2 weeks later. But yeah,
Yeah, it was a tough year, like for collector levels. I definitely think that 2K22 is gonna they saw that, they know that we weren't happy with it, so this sounds like a step in the right direction.
there were
I
some
don't.
memorable ones in the years before too, like the AK and stuff like that, Diamond AK, stuff like that. That Wade AD all throughout that year, and then the Giannis, just some really memorable ones. And then these were a little bit lacking as opposed to those, and it took a little bit longer, I think, to get them than it did in years prior for a reward that wasn't quite there. I
Yeah,
have
so
to agree with you.
two things with that are interesting is the first one was, if you remember, Tatum ended up getting a Dark Matter Moments card that was not it's far off of his invincible. So it's just like you collect 4,000 cards and you get a card that you could purchase on the auction house, essentially. And then here this is just like such a specific
And it will
thing.
cost you much less too.
Yeah, no kidding. Remember in 20, of all people, they picked Isaiah Thomas. Shout out to the invincible Isaiah Thomas we got free. Um, how about a collector level card with Evos again? Just give me something where I can go and evolve stuff, and
I think we need
I
more
just
Evos
want to
in
be.
general. I think they forget after some point, and then they bring it back because we're bothering them on Twitter about it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Well,
want to
the
be.
problem though is the
Same with
added
duels.
badges, right? The added
Hmm.
badges in 21 really messed up Evos because yeah, they messed up Evos. You couldn't add badges to it, and it just made it so it's kind of, I don't know, did wasn't as spicy as in 2K20.
I want to be rewarded for my grind. Like I'm pouring hundreds of hours in this game, thousands of hours even. Like I want to be rewarded in some way. Like I'll grind Evo cards. Some of those Evo cards, man, in 2K20, if I would have tweeted some of those, I was grinding my ass off, man. That's why XP is fun for me because like I've reached the highest mountaintop and evolve the Ben Wallaces of the world and Jeremy Lin and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Dwight Howard. If
Dwight,
you think
yeah.
about how ridiculous those Evos were for the time, not so much Lin, but freaking Dwight. Oh my God! I've evolved Artis Gilmore, who couldn't score outside of 3 feet for the paint. I've evolved Nate Archibald, who couldn't shoot a three to save his life. I've evolved Elgin Baylor, who was good but was a crazy, crazy grind. Like I'm good at grind. Like so,
But you need it to
reward.
be worth it, yeah.
So that's why the best seasons, in my opinion, were 3, 5, and 7 because I felt like I was the most appropriately rewarded for my time.
Yeah. All right. What about this one here? Community logos. I think that's something that you guys would probably be looked at a little bit more than I will. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is interesting, and this is a nice thing because we have a lot of big my team content creators that are not able to get into it before because the logos were mostly for park and stuff like that before. So it's an exciting thing to see. Just getting kind of that shout out from 2K themselves.
For sure. I mean, it definitely gives like the whole logo show when they would give out logos to the park guys. That was a whole thing. Like every Friday or when every Friday of the month or whenever they would do it, it was always a thing where all these guys are like, "All right, we're booting up stream. We're gonna have a real good stream because I'm hoping they pull up here and give me a logo because half of the thing they're looking for is that big reaction. They're looking for you to be like, "Oh, it's 2K. What? Ronnie's here." I mean, which is sweet. I mean, if Ronnie pulls up, I'm gonna go crazy. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, I mean, say what you want
It's
about him, but
legit. Like we're gonna,
he's
we might laugh about it, but we're not. Like they pulled up to a Howard, we'll be like that as well for sure.
for sure. And I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see this logo thing sort of motivate the community a little bit more, and maybe turn some of these guys who play park and maybe they think that's where the reputation's at. That's where I build my reputation with the logo. Well, maybe now they'll come over and enhance the MyTeam community. I mean, that's all that really can do. If we bring more eyes to this mode, that's incredible because I think it's the most fun mode, just simply because of all the different aspects of it.
I have to
And
agree. As soon as I landed on my team for the first time that I well, not the first time when I actually learned how it went and stuff like that. This is the move for me. I just know moving forward. Like I play a little bit of everything. I do my own rebuilds and stuff like that. I play a little bit of my career when I'm trying to step away from this. But yeah, my team is my go-to, and there are a lot of reasons for that I find it the most entertaining. But it's just great to see that 2K are gonna be recognizing the guys here.
gives everyone a goal to achieve and a reason to be streaming on that logo day because they don't just hand out logos to the top guys with 500 followers will get a logo and because they believe in them,
Mhm.
and that's amazing to hear. I hope maybe I get to be one of those guys one day. So
Here's hoping for sure.
the My
yeah.
Team logos was much needed. Um, it was definitely a feature that needed to happen, and I'm glad it's happened. And there's a lot of guys who deserve it, and I hope as many people get it as possible.
I think this is one of the things too when we're talking about we're hoping that this is gonna be the year. I think this is one of the things that are gonna push people to make it their year.
Oh
For
yeah,
sure,
I,
for
I
sure.
I've set out the tweet. I really, I mean, it's everybody's year, but I do feel like this is my year, man. I'm looking at my phone right now. I've got the Age of Heroes season 5 background and wallpaper. That's how much I love 2K. And remembering those times and memories and I'm excited to grind, man. I'm excited to get past Trey Young and have some fun.
Yeah, let's see. I'm telling you, like I've been a little bit more critical in the past, but this is all positivity right here, and I am. I tried to keep the hype contained, but we are, about less than a week at this point, and I don't know how much more I can hold it, but it's gonna be a great year for sure. Let's see
For
what
sure.
else. Community logos. Then the first we're talking about the first season here. We talked a little bit about Mello. They said so. Seasons are back, obviously. It says we're gonna start with what is that? Head to the season agenda menu peak. Also, we're gonna get the Kobe Bryant free agent. So free agents are back. We know contracts are back. We've seen them as well. And they talked about the Pink Diamond Glenn Robinson being that big price on the draft mode.
I like
Then
it.
He's gonna be a beast.
yeah, I
Yep.
mean you remember that card is really good. Then we have Pink Diamond Devin Booker to get it for getting the 6 rings unlimited, which is also at least lights out. You know he's gonna be. He might not
He is
be a huge defender, but he's gonna go lights out. And then Pink Diamond Will to talk about for the 12. So this is where I was thinking about it. So it says rising up the tiers and then going 12-0 at the top. So that tells me kind of that we're going back to the same system. Which
Yep.
so we have some divide in the community about whether that's the best way to go. Or some people just miss the 12-0. I think it was more attainable for most people when it was a 12-0. So I would prefer that would be my preference. But at the end of the day, I don't know how much of a limit I'm really gonna play, to be honest.
Well, I mean, figuratively, going up through all those tiers, you would be having to go 12-0 against someone who's like really good, like a bunch of really good people, like instead of just 12-0 in general, which I think is way more accessible. Yeah, I am scared right off of unlimited because I don't know. I like to play nice. I don't like to have to like really, really try to make someone's game unfun. So
I know
That's where I'm
if I enter an unlimited game, I'm gonna be sweating my butt off for 30 minutes, and that's not something I want to do. That's why I'd much rather play limited. And yeah, man. I mean, I'm excited.
I mean,
Um,
at the end of the day, it's about having fun, right? If that particular element of the game is not going to give you that fun, then you have to find it elsewhere. That's going to be a
absolutely.
better use of your time. Not everybody. That's the thing. You have to think about you that are watching us out there. When you're tackling this thing, just think about. We're going to try to help you see where what's going to be worth your time, but that also goes with what specifically you're looking to get out of the game. It might be that you prefer just jumping on the auction house and racking that MT up for the end game. It might be that you just want to see what the best reward you can get with the least amount of time possible and that kind of thing. So we'll try to help you out with that. But just keep in mind you have to have your own goals when you look at it, what you're trying to get out of the game, so that you can get frustrated, you get burned out, and you just enjoy yourself because that's what it's really all about. And then
yeah,
they're
for
talking
sure.
about the level 40 being Carmelo. We had talked a little bit about how we want his shot to be returned to what is it? What was the last year that it was good?
I liked it in 2K20, but
Did
that's
you?
an unpopular opinion. Yeah. He did step on the
I
line.
think he
It
stepped a
was
little
an
bit
issue,
too much
but
on the line.
yeah,
Just
totally.
when you needed a three, he was kind of selling a little bit there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I
I have
like
a
his
feeling
score. I
that
think what was it that we used to have a diamond token reward mellow that was really good. But that
yeah,
was a few years ago, maybe 19 or so.
I have a feeling that he's gonna have his shot fixed because he's a popular name, and there are a lot of Knicks fans out there, and there's gonna be a lot of guys who grind for him. So he's gonna be good. He's gonna be really good. Is he gonna be as good as Steph and in game breaking? Probably not. But is he gonna be a player you'll want on your team? For sure.
Oh yeah.
It's my opinion, but I'll grind for a Carmelo.
I mean,
I'm cool with it.
you have to think about Curry being the first one. I mean, I know we talked about the fact that smaller point guards are not getting the spot to shine, but that Curry was good for a while. I would say at least 3 seasons there. You could still see him off the bench even further down those seasons. So I think there have to, this is going to be a card that you're going to want to grind. So they're going to make it stand out in some way.
I mean, he's going to be the best Carmelo Anthony you're going to be able to get for a couple months or a few months figuratively. So, yeah, you'll probably want to get him if you're a Carmelo fan, if you're a Knicks fan or a Nuggets fan or whatever it may be.
Trailblazers.
Yeah.
What is it?
Lakers.
Blazers legend Carmelo Anthony.
Rockets.
Old man Melo.
Rock Thunder, yeah. I mean, you've been around. If you're a fan of the NBA period, you're a fan of Carmelo Anthony in some way.
if you're a fan of the Olympics, you're a fan of what he did back in the day for the USA. Like Carmelo is good, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a neat level 40 reward.
I'm glad to see him more in the NBA now, getting his shot because I cannot believe that he was out of the league for a while. He's so talented that he is.
I'm just excited for Darvin Ham. No, I'm just kidding.
That Darvin Ham's gonna go wild. You see,
No, he's the first. It looks like he's the first level reward. So
All right.
we're gonna have some fun going to ham.
he's gonna be on that lineup.
Oh yeah, man. I'm excited because I know he was in past 2Ks, but we've missed him recently.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying he's my favorite player or anything. I just like the last name Ham.
I remember going to the rack with him. He was pretty nice with it for
There
early
you go,
game.
man. I'm excited. Darvin Ham will cook Trae Young.
Plus
And
everything else that's new, just getting something new is something that we've been missing for a while. You know what? Someone like a player like Ron Artest, something like that didn't have this last year, stuff like that. Everything nice and new that you see like that is always great to see.
For sure.
Do you guys have any cards that we haven't seen or we haven't seen for a bit that you would like to make a return or just come for the first time?
Yeah, I do actually. There's a lot of guys we saw in 20 who we didn't see in 21, and I can give you some off the top of my head. Luol Deng has always been one of my all-time favorite players. I grew up a Bulls fan, and he was always the most steady and consistent player. Just a guy you could always count on to get a bucket when you needed him most. So he was a good 2K20 player.
I missed him this year.
Yeah, that should come back. There is another card a lot of people enjoyed at the end of 2K20 was Michael Beasley. So he's definitely in the mix. Hopefully he comes back. We're going to go ahead and give one of the most popular meme players of all time, Lance Stevenson, a shout out because his Amethyst was definitely ahead of its time in 2K20. And there's one more guy that is on the tip of my tongue, but I'll let Floki go in if he has any, and I'm gonna go look and see if I can remember because there's another guy from 20. You're muted, boss.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I hit the thing on my mic. I want to see Sasha Vujacic. I want to see Shannon Brown. I want to see Andrew Bynum. I want to see some old Lakers bench guys. I'd like to see, I want to see, you said him, Ron Artest, Meta World Peace. I want to see, I don't think we had Aaron Brooks last year or the year before even. I'd like to see him get a card. I want more Wayne Embry cards, and can't say enough about him. I
can't believe we only had that one.
I know, it was incredible.
It was so
Swaggy
good.
P. We need Swaggy P.
We do. Nick Young, the question mark meme.
2K20 legend.
Absolutely. I feel like I named a ton of guys, but those, the obvious answer is Charles Barkley, Reggie Miller.
Mm-hmm.
It's so annoying not to be able to play with them. And then if you want to play with them, you got to download some roster, and they look like aliens or something.
Yeah.
So,
I'm actually looking at these old tweets, Floki, and you also mentioned Tayshaun Prince.
yes, absolutely.
Rashard Lewis. Rasheed Wallace. I'm sorry, it's Rasheed Wallace.
Yes.
Oh my God, he is a typical stretch guy, man. He'll be so good too.
And how about another one that I tweeted about but forgot about? When we saw Jimmer, recently, and didn't get to see him in 21, so he's always a fan favorite. So yeah, there's a lot of guys that I would love to see, and it's great to get Darvin Ham back. But let's continue and let's keep getting guys. Luol Deng is, like I said, is a case where he's one of my favorite players in real life, so I'm gonna want to buy his card, and I'm gonna have the chance to use him. And some guys are just fun to use in 2K, whether it be Lance or Beasley, or Jimmer or whoever the case may be. Swaggy P is always popular because of his antics. But yeah, there's a lot of guys, and again, of course, we saw a lot of guys in 21 we didn't see in 20, like we weren't talking about the dentist back then, or
Mhm.
Danny Fair, the lawyer, or a lot of these guys. And now this guy Gus Gerard, I don't know, I'm like irrationally excited about him. So
All right, yep. So lots and lots of things we talked about, lots of things that we're excited about. We're just ready to get into it, and we will continue to have this conversation, whether it be on the Discord, here and back in the podcast, the My Team Spaces you guys host, and all of that. Super, super thankful for you guys to be with me tonight. Super thankful for everybody that's watching, everybody that will be watching in YouTube. Thank y'all for coming out, and you have a great night.
Thanks so
thank
much
you,
for
guys.
having us, Ace. Like, for real, it's fun to chat with you, and I'm looking forward to this year in the community. And yeah, I'm gonna invite you. Come on one of our Twitter spaces, or do a space with me sometime. And yeah, I'm happy to keep talking with folks in the community. So let's do it. I'm excited for this year,
I
man.
appreciate it. Like you guys say, this is the year.
This is the
Yeah,
year.
this is, man. Appreciate your support. Thanks for reaching out. And thanks to all those
Absolutely.
who tuned in. And I know we had some viewers in there on Twitch. I was looking at the Twitch chat. So that was pretty neat.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll be seeing you then. Keep
See you
that
guys.
Later,
grind
guys.
going.